So keyword coverage, first and foremost, probably one of the most important aspects of Amazon advertising. Why is keyword research so important? Well, one, cheaper placements. Two, more targeted searches, which means higher click-through rate, higher conversion rate, and with, lower CPCs, a better ACOS. More efficient use of budget. So this is really, really basic, but it comes up all the time of, hey, if I have a certain amount of budget, how do I best use that budget? And this is where keyword research matters a lot. So let's use this example. Let's say you're selling deodorant. Everyone knows to target deodorant, including your competitors. So a keyword like this gets really expensive really fast for a few reasons. One, you can see that, the top 70% of deodorant brands are winning top of search. And that's because they have the budget to win that. That is a billboard ad for them. They're not trying to see a direct return immediately. But if we take that same term and go a little bit more precise, men's deodorant for sensitive skin, we're going to see a drop off in search volume, but you can see just by the brands winning this placement that it's a little bit more lucrative. And not only that, it's a lot more precise. So if a man is searching for deodorant, they're now only seeing men's deodorant and they're seeing for sensitive skin. So this is a great high level example of when you're doing keyword research and you're looking at how your budget is being spent, having these lucrative long tail search terms can make a really large difference. Now, I'm going to use this amazing data set that we pulled from PackView to really hit this home. What is the difference in investing in your focus keywords versus your long tail keywords? Well, for one, let's look at these cost per click. So as you can see, all of these one word root terms, so deodorant or dogs, has a really expensive cost per click and one of the lowest conversion rates. The reason being is everyone knows to bid on that term. All of your competitors are bidding on that term. Everyone's clicking, looking for dogs, looking for deodorant. It's a lot broader term, which means if your CPC is higher and your conversion rate's lower, your ACOS is going to be higher. But where it gets really fun is when you do really good keyword research. And as you can see for this one brand, we have 80,000 converting search terms. We have a lot of data to pull from. So for our 5 words or more, so dog toy for large dog, antiperspirant deodorant for sensitive skin, you can see we see a major drop off in volume, but look how much cheaper that is. $3.02 a click. And this is obviously a very competitive category because our average CPCs are even that. But this is an important distinction to make because when you have a limited budget, how are you spending that budget? Are you targeting your most important keywords that, come straight to mind? Or are you constantly investing in your keyword research to find these really lucrative, keywords that are much more aligned? And if someone's looking for a large dog toy and they type this in, you're going to have a higher click-through rate and a higher conversion rate because you're so much more specific. Now, one thing to note, look at the sales difference here. Of course, the majority of the volume is coming from those short tail specific keywords. But if you really invest in that keyword research, an additional, $1 million of long tail, efficient, profitability focused keywords will go a really long way for your brand. So overall, this brand is at a break-even ACOS, which is their target. But it's only because we took our budget and said some of it needs to go to these important keywords for rank. The rest of it needs to go for these long tail keywords for efficiency. So evergreen keyword research is probably one of the most important things you can do in Amazon advertising. Don't just focus on those category keywords that, are easy, shot out of a cannon. I know what to bid on. Really do the keyword research because if you invest in enough of these, they add up over time and they can increase your efficiency tenfold. So one of the more important macro concepts to discuss, again, as you can see, look at this ACOS difference. Five words or more, 28% ACOS, 31% conversion rate. That's a much higher conversion rate without making any changes to my listings or doing anything like that. Now, how do we find these new keywords? The basics, we use Helium 10, we use search term reports. So we run auto campaigns and all match types for every single ASIN for the most part. And that's because that allows us to have evergreen data collection. That means we can pull our search term report for every ad type every single month. And we can say, hey, where are the unique keywords that have driven a sale for me? This makes keyword research much more scalable because we're not having to actually pull all the different tools and get confused. we're able to run at mass scale because of how we set up our campaign and our campaign structure. We also use the Amazon API. We have a few tools that allow us to pull directly from the API for first-party data, which makes keyword research a lot more efficient and lean. One thing to note here is if you're going to run at scale this many keywords, you have to have very, very good bid management. Broad typically has a higher ACOS because your targeting is a lot broader. So you need to have lower bids typically. You need to have really strong bid management in order to make all of these function at a very efficient manner. Here's a good example of how that plays out. I had to throw in a little bit about bid management under the keyword research section because it's one of the most important aspects of Amazon search. Let's take a look at the CPC trend. 2015 average CPCs were 45 cents. May 1st of 2022, $1.82. Now let's take the exact same listing, $20 Play-Doh product. Assume there's been zero changes in Amazon advertising, the keywords we're covering, how we're strategizing, things like that. What used to be an 11% ACOS is now a 45% ACOS. All because of the change in the market. Now, theoretically, we could lower our bids, right? But what is happening when most of you go and lower your bids? You're dropping off volume and sales because it's just getting too competitive. That is slightly pay to play. So this is really, really important to understand because one, it's probably normal to see your ROAS trending down if your CPCs are trending up, because even if your conversion rate stays the exact same, CPC and bid has a direct correlation with your ACOS or ROAS. So I didn't want to go too deeply on this because bid management is a pretty interesting dynamic and it's kind of a basic Amazon advertising philosophy. But if you're curious to see more about bid management, we do have a YouTube video, as you can see in the top right corner. So go check it out and learn how to optimize your bids because it's, again, one of the most important things you can do with Amazon advertising.